to day 4. How are we on day 4 already? It's madness. It is madness. But we are here. We are on day 4. So let's get day 4 done. So I am hoping that you are getting on really well with the previous exercises, and we're starting to get some little tiny freezes. And it doesn't matter how small that freeze is, because we can build on them. These are all foundations of things. So even if you are getting that tiny freeze on your dog, or even if your dog is just doing lots and lots of pecks, they're still starting to understand the game. And I am really proud of everyone who is working their arse off to get themselves a freeze with their dog, or an indication with their dog. So well done to everyone who is working hard. Great to see everyone's videos as well. Really loving some of those videos. If you haven't posted any videos yet, please do. We'd love to see how you are getting on. So get yourself in the group and get posting. Honestly, it doesn't matter what that video is like. The rawer, the better, because I can't give you feedback on a video that's been edited where I can't really see what's going on. So make sure it's nice and raw. Just whatever your session was like, just post that one up. So we're going to look at another method of teaching that freeze indication. So again, you need your pod, you need the inert odor that is in there, and you need your dog, obviously, because we can't teach a freeze without your dog. So grab your dog, grab your treats or your toy, whatever you're using. Now, what I want you to do is to place this pod on the floor this time. And this needs a lot of timing as well. Everything in dog training needs timing. If anyone said what's the main thing in dog training, it is timing. So, and treats and rewards. And a dog as well. That'll work, wouldn't it? So we're going to put this on the floor, okay? And our dogs, they're going to be used to this odour by now. They're going to be used to doing something with this pot as well. Hopefully not picking it up and running off with it. If they are, wedge it between your feet so they can't get it. So drop this pod on the floor, and your dog is going to go, oh, I understand that. And they're going to go over towards this pod. Now, I want you to be stood very close to the pod, okay? So have it only, say, 1/2 metre in front of you. Your dog is going to come in and put their nose to that pod. Now, what I want you to do is drop a treat down so it lands more or less on the top of that pod. So we've got a nice big target to hit. Now, if we're just using kibble or hot dog sausages, don't worry if it hits your dog's head. It is not going to harm them at all. If you have a nervous dog, please be a little bit more careful and just judge it with how your dog is reacting to it, okay? If it's food, they're generally going to be okay. But if you do have a nervous dog that doesn't like things like that, or doesn't like the sound of the kibble hitting things, think of having some softer food so it's not making those sounds, okay? So this is on the floor, our dog's nose goes up to it, and we're just going to drop a treat. You want to drop it, as you can see from the video, quite high up so your dog doesn't see it's you dropping those treats. They're going to know, but I don't want them looking back up at you, okay? What I want them thinking is that if they keep their nose there, a treat magically appears. They're going to know it comes from you. They're going to know it. We like to think that they don't know it and that it's just a magic treat that appears. But they know, they just know they've got to keep their nose there. What I don't want them doing is lifting their head up to see you, okay? So we're going to have this there. Your dog's going to come into it. We're going to drop those treats down so they land on the top. Your dog's going to eat the treats. You may need to reset this a couple of times. It may fall over. If you're worried about that Kong coming out, the odour coming out, then just turn it around a bit so it can't come out, but you've still got the odour coming out, okay? So if you're worried that your dog's knocking it over and that item is going to fall out, then just turn it around so that it is a little bit more closed off, okay? Just makes it a little bit safer. So we're going to keep dropping those treats down. Your dog is then going to start to freeze over that, waiting for the treats and getting the odour coming up and understanding that that is what we want on the odour. And we're going to keep on repeating that exercise. As you can see, the dog here is starting to understand what we want from them, and they're starting to hold that freeze a bit longer. Once you have that freeze developing, we can slowly, and I mean slowly, increase the length of that indication, okay? What we don't want to be doing is, once the dogs start to have that freeze, is to suddenly go onto a 10-minute freeze on our dogs, which is unfair. We can never do a 10-minute freeze and there's no point to it either. But you want to increase that freeze really, really slowly and use a scalar method. So we're going to go from, say you've got a nice 2-second freeze that's happening. And 2 seconds may not sound like much, but a 2-second freeze is amazing. And if you're getting a 2-second freeze, you are doing really, really well. So we're not looking at getting a 20-second freeze. It's not fair for our dogs and it's not conducive for our scent work. We just want our dogs to tell us where the item is. And a 5-second freeze is phenomenally perfect, okay? Use your scalar method. So you're looking for a 2-second freeze, you may push for 3 seconds and the next time have 1 second. Then push for a bit longer, then a bit less, a little tiny bit more, ask for longer, and then a lot less. So we use that scalar so our dogs get nice quick rewards sometimes, but sometimes they've got to work a bit harder for it. They also don't know when that reward is coming and it's a bit more exciting for them instead of having to work really, really hard every time. They get that reward quicker sometimes, which is going to make them more motivated to work, and you're going to get a better result at the end of it. So let's have a look at your videos, crack on with your training, get some of it videoed, put it in the Facebook group, and let's see how you're doing.